Alright, what's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Um, Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. Link will be in the description box below, as usual. This was entitled Old Guys Putting Salt in the Game. Now, this is a video that might be long overdue. There are men out here who are older, who, first and foremost, I must salute for the efforts that they've done. And they have my respect. So they're not who I'm talking about, but they know these type of men that I'm about to talk about. And actually, these guys try to latch themselves on to the image of these guys that I respect. So what I mean by old dudes throwing salt in the game. See, there are older guys out here who may have been husbands, or may be husbands, or may feel like they're ladies' men, and they spent their whole life doing sucker shit. See, they weren't a real husband or a real man. They hid behind the image of a real husband or a real man, while the real husbands and real men did all the heavy lifting. What they did was the same thing that you see these lesbians do, who try to dress like a dude, look like a dude, and act like what they think a dude is. But and other girls want to live the lie, so they play along. And this is what happens with other people. Other people see the BS, but they play along. So now these guys go out here and they're just opportunists poaching on each opportunity. So now they want to tell you, how to get more women. But they didn't tell you that they've had all these women. You know, they want to tell you, they don't tell you, yeah, they've been married before. They probably cheated on their wife. They probably had kids. They probably took care of some and probably didn't acknowledge the others. They didn't tell you that. They're throwing salt in the game. It's like the way the feeling that I had about the quote unquote Steve Harvey book, Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man, where when you look at the guy and if you was to read the book, it basically says, you young ladies don't know what a man is, so you need to deal with an older man like myself who will treat you properly. Not saying that these older guys did all this fucking up, and what they're really asking for is constant restarts. You see, when he was in his 20s, he wasn't a good guy. May have been married, may have been a father. When he was in his 30s, he did it again. When he was in his 40s, he did it again. Now that he's in his 50s, you're not privy to that information. So he can come along and say, hey baby, I'm a grown man, doing grown man things, and these young boys ain't got it together. They don't know how to make you feel like a woman. And he's got a lot of time learning how to make you feel like a woman. But you never talk to those older ladies in his age group that'll tell you, oh, he ain't shit. He ain't never been shit, and he ain't never gonna be shit. But those ladies have been put out the pasture by those type of guys. Bullshit. You know. Some of the good ones have been put out the pasture. Some of the bad ones that need to be put out the pasture have been put out the pasture by these guys. So they throw salt in the game, because these are the guys that these grandmothers and aunts warn their daughters and granddaughters about. But because y'all wanted to play along, these guys adapted. Oh, I'm gonna look different. Oh, I will go to church on Sunday. Oh, I'm sanctified and saved. Hallelujah, hallelujah. You know, um, I fall short when I sin, Lord. I'm not that person. Fall short a whole lot, don't you? Keep falling short. Okay. I took care of my responsibilities, but you didn't ask their children because their children ain't around because their children don't love them, don't respect them. You can't ask their family members because they won't take you around their family because their family don't fuck with them. So you just gotta take. Oh, I'm just grown. I'm older, man. I'm being free with my life. You know what I'm saying? I've earned the right to do my thing. You gotta ask yourself if somebody's dad age or granddad age and their own family ain't fucking with them, it's not they earn their right to separate. No, the, the people closest to them don't want to be bothered with. You can't see that because you're not privy to that information, like I said before. So they throw salt in the game because they want they want to date younger, and at the same time they want to compete with the guys their son's age, and they throw salt in the game by saying these guys ain't been raised to be men. These guys don't know what it's like to be a man. And to be true be told, that older guy doesn't know what it is to be a man. But that older guy has more years experience practicing how to emulate what a man is better than these young guys who've just figured it out because they're actually probably um, learning as they go. Because the older guy that may be in his 50s, guess what? He didn't teach his sons how to be men, so they're figuring it out. So he's taking advantage of the fact that he left the younger generation to figure out manhood, so he can poach women. Now, we say the same. We try to tell the women the same thing about the older women of their generation. That's why they don't teach y'all femininity and you know, in manners and how to get along with men because with the mistakes that they've made, they need you to figure it out while they can softly come up on these guys, you know, kind of hood rat retirement plan, right? Guys do the same thing. The same women that's competing with their daughters, there are men competing with their sons. But it's not necessarily so. But those guys will not find themselves coming up into the space of these younger guys because these younger guys, people like get your punk ass out of here. Because by the way that these older guys interact with younger guys, first of all, they know it's competition, and they know they're throwing salt in the game to skew the competition, you know. And then and the thing about these, because they're men, and the guys have no respect for these older type of men like this. See, because a real older men who are real men are tell a young guy, listen, young guy, I'm gonna give you the game. This is what's going on with these women or this that. They'll give you the experience of what's going on, and you can take it or leave it. They won't get close to you to befriend you to then poach your woman or poach her friends. You know, that's what I meant about a long time ago when I said, everybody got that uncle who think he still got it. And if you went to your family, why everybody thinks your uncle's charming, and you might think your uncle's fun. If you bring your girlfriend around, your uncle will try to fuck your girlfriend. And he'll have, if I'm your elder, you respect me. I just got away with the ladies. Yeah. Nigga, but you ain't got no boundaries. Like, you can have a way with the ladies, but you would talk the mind to. And see, that's the problem. Right there. And when that's the problem, and it keeps reoccurring over and over again, you start to realize something. You know, and these older guys still have these habits. And because they look like they're retirement age or, they're in that AARP bucket list type of, they get put in that model. Well, they just trying to live the rest of their life out. No, they not. They've been living like that the whole time. You don't know how many of these older guys have been drug addicts and alcoholics and deadbeats and bad husbands or bad fathers or serial womanizers, and now they just make it look different. That's all. They just make it look different. And that's where there's a issue, because guess what? When you see some of these older guys with younger women, you're like, let me meet your kids, man. You can't, if you are old, and this is what I mean by they throwing salt in the game. You gonna know the difference, because um, when an older guy dates a younger woman, and he can't bring her around his family, or he doesn't want to, or if he does, here he go again. He's got to hope the girl is young enough and dumb enough not to pick up on the cues that this is his hustle. Now, the funny part about this is, like I said before, the difference is he doesn't want to be around younger men, because younger men will put his ass out the pasture. Like, nah, we tired of your games, pops, because you're making us look bad. Not because you're getting young women, but the way you're doing it is dirty macking. Because a lot of these older guys are the kings of dirty macking. That's why I brought up the Steve Harvey thing. That's dirty macking. You know, that book was really the blueprint for dirty macking. You know, poison the well, sabotage the future, find out how to fix it, and come back like the hero, throwing salt in the game, and then act like it's the people who had to deal with the poison the well's fault, when it was actually you that did it. So this is why I say these older guys throw salt in the game. These types, we out.